Hello, so today is August 30th and it's of course almost the end of August and almost September, which means we'll probably have at least a good month and a half of warm weather. I'm going to do a quick herbal update. It's still too hot to film, everybody. Yeah, this month has been like insanely hot. So a few things that I did last week was top this tree. So this cherimoy tree turned 2 years old on August 21st. That's 2 Fridays ago. And I topped it off right here. There was like a little bit of growth on the top here, but I just cut it. This tree is really tall. It is like the only tall cherimoya. And I'm really happy that it's growing, but eventually I'm going to have to put this in a greenhouse. And if it keeps growing taller, it's just going to be too tall for the greenhouse. And this particular plant loved the greenhouse, so I wanted to stop it from growing tall so it would hopefully encourage it to grow branches on the side. I think this tree is really fascinating how it has these really large leaves and that it's just growing straight and tall. I noticed this new growth in the branch, so I hope that it'll grow a little bit more on here, and as well as promote the tree itself to grow some side branches. So tamarindus, this one right here, this one right here. Tamarindus and indica will be 2 years old too on September 2nd, so in a few more days. And they got big recently, which is really nice. So I'll definitely do a little footage of them separately for their little birthday. And then also another big thing that I did last week was, as you can see, Tammy looks a little different. Different probably as in taller. So what I discovered was Self-Wicking containers, just a random Facebook page post about the topic, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. So Tammy is now in a larger pot. It's a little bit taller. It's definitely bigger than the one that she had. I wasn't expecting to do a transplant, but it's fine. But she's in a new container, and what I did was put recycled bottles, and I cut the tops off and the bottoms off, which left like a middle sliver left, and I lined the bottom of the pot with those plastic pieces, and then with the bottoms of the bottles I poked holes on the top. But before I did that, these pots have holes in it. So the idea of a self-wicking bottle is that you water the plant where the water goes down in the bottom, it collects there, and then the soil touches the water and it wicks up, rather than doing it from the top and then it's just evaporating out, because you know it's super hot. We have to water these guys every day. The self-wicking would store the water in the bottom of the bucket. The pockets of plastic would allow air so it's not suffocating the plant. And also one thing you have to do this. So there's a hole right there. You have to put a hole 1 inch below the highest point of whatever you put down there, and that's the drainage hole, and it also allows air to go through. So there's like 1 inch of air in the bottom. So and again, and that hole is there so the plant doesn't suffocate. And then it also has the ebb and flow movement of the water in the container. So I did that last week, really spur of the moment. I just had whatever I can do. But the biggest thing at first was to cover the holes. So I found an old chicken feed bag. We keep the bags. They're perfect. It's the only thing I had on hand. So I took Tammy out of her first pot, put the plastic bottles within this plastic sheet, put soil in there, put Tammy in there, put more soil around Tammy, so now that the water can stay in here. And you can do that. You can convert a existing one, just find a way to plug the holes and keep the water and the soil together. So that was a big project last week, and doing so made Tammy a little taller, at least 5 inches taller. Yeah, there's 5 inches of plastic on the bottom of the container, so it raised Tammy up a little bit, which may not be good when I take her inside the greenhouse. It's supposed to trap water and keep her watered for a little bit longer. So I plan to do that with my other large trees and seedlings. I plan to do that with my other trees. I want to do it with the big cherimoya here. I want to finally try to make a trellis of some sort for the dragon fruits. I plan to put them in 5-gallon buckets and do the self-wicking in those too, because they'll need constant watering. it's just unfair for them to be in the full sun like that. I might bring them out of the full sun. I bought a bunch of stuff over here. So I bought these tomato cages, 2 sizes of tomato cages. I've just little test of my theory here with one of the tomato cages. The dragon fruits will be too tall, which is fine. I'm gonna have to trim them off, or they'll definitely come up and down. That's the plan. I bought more soil. I also bought Fox Farm soil. I need to look for it. I finally got Fox Farm soil, so I'm really excited about that. And I might use those primarily for the dragon fruits, because I really want those guys to grow, because next February they'll be 3 years old, and it should be about blooming time. And I'm getting jealous of all these Facebook posts. Everybody's dragon fruits, especially in Texas, are starting to bud out right now. So I'm like, oh, come on, you guys. So yeah, watching too many Facebook pages make me kind of jealous in a good way, but it's okay. So that's my big plan for today. It's still hot. It's just still hot. Last week stopped a 20 consecutive 100-degree days for Austin. So yeah, I think the outlook for the next month is still going to be hot, which is fine. I'm definitely going to set up the dragon fruit trellis. I'm going to be outside all day in the shade and hoping that everything works out, and I'll be able to have everybody grow at least within the next month of warm weather.